A young Frank Hamer has used technology to launch a new career as a bounty hunter. He's been listening in on a newfangled telephone party line and agreed to try to track down a horse thief seen headed for his area.
And of course, the sheriff said, well, who are you? And blah, blah, blah. And he said, okay, you go after him. Let's see what you come up with, kid. Well, from where the horse was stolen, going west, there was only one other water hole in that general area, so Hamer knew the horse thief had to come by to water his horse.
Hands up!
So Hamer went, ambushed him, took him by surprise, arrested him, and trailed him back to the ranch where the sheriff was waiting on him.
The capture launched a long career which would span more than 3 decades of service as a Texas Ranger, Marshal, and private detective and bounty hunter. But Frank Hamer is best remembered for the job that wrapped up his remarkable career. His final manhunt was one of the most famous in history. Hamer, the old Texas Ranger, was brought in to take down Bonnie and Clyde.
In fact, he analyzed their modus operandi, and he saw that they very frequently tried to contact relatives, and it could be of various members of their gang. And in this case, he reckoned correctly that they were contacting or maybe even using a safe house. And it was Frank Hamer who set up the ambush of Bonnie and Clyde when they were driving into town from Henry Methwin's father's farmhouse in Louisiana, just over the line from Texas.
Hamer made sure his Remington .35 caliber Model 8 rifle was up to the task. Usually, the Model 8 packed 5 rounds. Hamer pimped his rifle by having a gunsmith remove the attached magazine and welding on a larger, special 20-round magazine. The powerful slugs from a Remington .35 would rip through just about anything. And now Hamer had plenty to play with.
Hamer took another bit of technology, which was the BAR, a 30-06 automatic rifle, and a crew of 5 men, and they ambushed them at a spot where they knew that Bonnie and Clyde would eventually come back around to pick up their mail.
Hamer brought his specially modified Remington to the showdown. But Hamer's boys brought the big toys. BAR, or Browning automatic rifle, carried by Hamer's men, was a great deal more powerful than the Frontier 6-shooters Hamer used at the start of his bounty hunting career. Hamer was able to change with the times and the technology to keep his edge over the bad guys. That's what made him such a great bounty hunter.
There was a hill, and as Bonnie and Clyde came up the hill, they came to a stop right where Hamer said they would. His men stood up from ambush, pointed the guns at them, and told them, hold. And as soon as they did that, Bonnie and Clyde both reached for guns, and they opened up on them with automatic weapons.
Hamer and his men opened up with 30-06s, among other things, BARs, which is a real heavy caliber round, and to the point where some of Bonnie's teeth were found in the back seat.
And in this ambush, of course, Frank Hamer, bringing Bonnie and Clyde to ground, in fact, killing them there, gained national prominence.
And to think, it all started with a phone call.